Hi everybody, it's Michelle, and in this video I'm going to show you guys my bullet journal and kind of give you an idea of what's going on with my other planners. So if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I have several different types of planners. I have ring-bound planners from Filofaxes to Franklin Covey's in several different sizes, and I also have the Erin Condren, which I recently purchased. I have the Midori style notebooks, and this is the standard size. And I also have my beloved Hobonichi. And I've kind of gone back and forth through all the different ones since the beginning of the year. But I was becoming overwhelmed again because I had too many things in too many places, and that just never works for me. So I went ahead and I pulled out my Moleskine, and it is the large hardcover and squared. And I said I'm just going to start back with a bullet journal and put everything in here. So that's what I've done. I've been doing this for about 2 weeks now, and I will show you how I have this set up for me at this point and kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing with my other planners. So this video may be a little long because I'm going to go into some detail on how I have things in here, because it's not just a standard bullet journal. I modify it to meet my needs, and so I'm going to go over that and show you guys what I do. So the Moleskine has a back pocket, and I just put in some random notes and things back there, some sticky notes back here just to do pen testing. This is my grocery list that I just have stuck here. In the front, I added the Erin Condren pen holder right here. And when I'm finished with this book, I can just peel that off and put it on a new book. Some stickers, some business cards here. I washi taped in a calendar for the year, which I don't have anything on here. It's just mainly for a reference. And this is my order book that I just stuck on here with a rubber band. So I have it with me in this book. I didn't want to put this information in the book because I want this to all be together and stored separately, archived with my other material in a different book. So that's here. These front pages I always skip because I don't like how it's glued. You can't use them. They're not very usable anyway. I'm going to decorate these with pictures and scrapbook paper. And then I move on to my index. And I just saved 2 pages for my index. I'm hoping that this book lasts me through the end of August. And this should be plenty of room. If it's not, I'll just washi tape in another piece of paper here and add to the index. So what I have done is I've actually done a spread similar to the one that's at the front of the Hobonichi that has the linear month here in just May through August. So if appointments or things come up in the future, I can just jot them here to do some future planning. Once I get further along, like around here in August, if things are coming up for September or October, I can just put a sticky note here to jot it down, and it goes in my new book whenever I set that up. Down at the bottom, these are just things that I know need to be paid or are coming due during this month. And I'm kind of using this the same way I was in the Hobonichi, as a running index and appointments and that type of thing in here, birthdays, all of that jotted down here. This is a good way to have some type of future planning in your bullet journal, even though I don't run it through the end of the year. You could do that if you wanted to. If you don't write a lot the way that I do, and you could possibly use one book for the whole year, then it would make more sense to do that. So I go from this to here, and what I did was I decided to go ahead and keep track of my bills and income this way instead of on my monthly calendar. So I have everything listed out already, and then each month it's broken up: May, June, July, and August, and then I can just jot down in each column And these are the things that are always due, that are routine. And down here at the bottom, I just jotted in things that are not routine, that do come up during that month I have to be paid. And then here's all the income stuff. And this is just the blog and my business, my Etsy shop income. Down here, I'm going to put another section with my husband's income and so forth. I just haven't put that in yet. This next page, I went ahead and did some meal planning. And these are things that I know that we all pretty much like to eat, so that I can go through and figure out different meals for different days, because we end up eating the same things over and over, and this just to try to give me a variety. And I broke it down by beef, chicken, pork, other. These are quick meals, these are sides, and these are things just for the kids. I'm going to add in desserts also, I believe, and snacks. I just want to go through my Pinterest boards and find some interesting things to put on here that I think everybody would eat. And of course, all of this is referenced in my index up here in the front. And you see, I just have my pages dated at the bottom, or sorry, numbered at the bottom. The next are my books to read. And I break this down into two separate topics. Over here is actually the series that I'm interested in. And I'll write down what the series is, who the author is, and how many books are in that series, so I know what I'm looking for whenever I try to look it up online or on Amazon. And over here I actually break it down, the ones that I have either purchased, downloaded, and I jot them down by the series, the author, and I number them out so that I make sure that I read them in order. And I just mark off when I read them and the date that I finish reading the book. I have other lists like this that have already been completed. These are just the ones that I have right now that I want to read. So I left another spread here to fill up through the end of August. And anything on here that has not been completed or I finished reading, I can just move it into a new book. And the ones that have been finished, then I won't worry about those. Then I put in my monthly spread, the month on 2 pages. I have to have this. I have to have this month view to do my planning. So, of course, all my appointments are here, my shopping days, birthdays, TV nights, some blog posts, and holidays, that type of thing, all goes on here. Sick days. And I just did these with 7 squares across, 7 squares down. So they're 7 by 7 to take up the whole page. I didn't give myself any extra room for notes or anything along the side. I figured I would just use the extra blocks from the month to put any notes or goals that I have for the month there. This one is not as filled up because I started this around here, around the 19th of May, I believe. Somewhere around in here is when I started this book. I also put in a weekly timetable, which has the Monday through Sunday. And I numbered from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. And I only use 1 block for each hour. So I have to write really tiny in there, but that's okay. So I just, of course, mark down what I'm doing throughout the day. I kind of always do this opposite. A lot of people use these to plan their day. I don't plan my days this way. I just like to keep track of what I was actually doing during those times. And at the bottom, I put in my meal plan and just anything out of the ordinary going on that day and things that happened during that day that were good things. I put here down at the bottom. And this was a weekly to-do list that I jotted here. I didn't really use it. I had another one for this past week that I didn't use either, so I may not continue that. So it's not until here that I actually get into my daily notes. And of course, it's a standard bullet journal pretty much. I put in the date with the month and the day of the week. I put my weather up here at the top, the weather conditions and the temperature. Sometimes I put in a little quote or something at the top. And of course I mark my task for the day and any notes. And this could be anything that pops in my head for the day that I just want to keep track of. This will run kind of like a book, and I can go back and I can know everything I was doing on each particular day or what I was thinking about that day. So I did go ahead and mark this off at the end of the day and just put in some doodles there. So the next page is my running to-do list, and these of course are just all the big tasks that need to be done that don't have a particular date to them that will eventually get put into my everyday to-do list. Here is gift ideas. I'm already thinking about this for Christmas and birthdays, just jotting down ideas for mainly immediate family members. And me, my wish list down here at the bottom. Here are notes on a book that I read that I just wanted to keep track of these notes. Here is a listing of summer activities for the kids. I did a lot of research on free things and other kids' activities that we could do during summer vacation, because this is the last week of school. So we're going to have a lot of free time on our hands, and I want to keep the kids busy. This here is my Doodle page. These are doodle borders that I like to use in my Hobonichi, and just practicing them out. When I see something online on Pinterest or Instagram that catches my eye, I'll just add it here. And I did post this picture on Instagram if you want to get a closer look of that. This is my May tracking. I decided I needed my tracking sheet in here, and I wanted it to be written actually into the book and not a separate thing that I kind of washi taped in, because I do have a tracker from a planner, some planner inserts that I purchased on Etsy, but I wanted to actually put it in the book. So I just drew it out, but this became very confusing because once you get all the way down here to this end, it's hard to make sure that you're getting the correct line. And so I've set it up a different way for June, and I will show you that when I get there. So these are just all the things listed that I wanted to keep track of, and then the day 1 through 31, and I go ahead and I put the day of the week on top of that so that I don't get confused. And I did kind of mark out the weekends here. I didn't start until about right here, so that's why hardly any of this is filled out. These are just more daily notes with the task and my notes. I did do some painting and some stickers. This is more notes on a book that I was reading. And there are quite a few notes on this book. It runs from here all the way to here. And I left myself a little bit of room to go back and reflect, and if I want to add any notes to that. And then just a picture down here at the bottom. These are more everyday notes, just with my doodles at the bottom. If there's not enough room for me to feel like I can start a new day, I'll just do this and fill in the space. And this is last week. Here's my time tracker for last week. I set it up the same way, but I added in up here the forecast of the weather. And this is not the actual weather. It was just what was forecast for the week that I marked at the top. And my weekly to-do list, which nothing is marked off on there. So I may start using this in a different way. What I decided to do was to start keeping track of tasks on a weekly spread, similar to with a vertical week like this, but similar to the way the Erin Condren is set up. So for every week now, I have this timetable, and I also have this spread here. And this worked extremely well because I was keeping track of stats and things in social media in a different book, and it was just too much to keep track of. And I wanted everything here in this one book. So I have each day listed out, and I have at the top all of my sales stats and views, and I have social media, blog and video stuff, Instagram, which I diligently put my little Instagram stickers so that I can do it every day, and as you can see, I don't. I always forget to post to Instagram. And at the bottom here is just notes. So what I'm doing with this notes section at the bottom is using it for my daily task. This way too, if I'm on Monday and I know I need to do a task on Friday, I can go ahead and write it in for Friday. And I don't have to worry about where I'm at in my bullet journal and how do I keep track of tasks that I know I need to do later in the week. So this is where all of my tasks are now. And this actually did work out extremely well. And when the day finished, that's all of these flowers, I would write in that flower. So it was just a visual reminder that I'm done with this day. So I wouldn't go back and think, oh, I'm on this day and looking at the wrong task. So that's it. That was week 22. And I just added some of my icon stickers there too, just for particular things for that day. These are more book notes. This day and this day. I mean, these 2 pages. More daily notes. And now they're just notes. No more task on the day. And I decided to start adding in pictures. These are just some notes on my Etsy shop. More daily notes with more pictures. These are just some quotes and a prayer that I taped in here. More daily notes with some quotes, or a quote at the bottom. And a little section in here, I had kept some notes on a TED Talk that I watched on YouTube. And I went ahead and highlighted that and put it in my index because I wanted to remember where this was. Instead of doing an extra page on that, I just added it to my daily notes because there weren't that many notes to take. Daily notes, daily notes, daily notes, daily notes. And this was actually yesterday on Sunday, and May is done. The month of May just flew by so quick. And I moved into my June calendar. Now, on the monthly calendar, I did go ahead and washi tape the edge. See, there, May has this washi tape. June has this, just so I can find it easily. Even though I do have a tab that I stick up there. So I have a top tab. So I just have some things mapped out already for June. I need to add more in here, more when I decide which activities we're going to go out and do. And this is how I've decided to now do my tracking. Instead of a 2-day spread or 2-page spread, everything is here. And what I did was I broke it down by daily task, weekly task, and monthly task. So now I know these appear in these blocks are things that should be done every day. And I did go ahead and highlight every other line so that I could keep better track and I don't lose focus and I'm marking the wrong task. And it's 1 through 15, so it's the 1st through the 15th and the 16th through the 30th. So that it doesn't get too long and unwieldy, because then you don't know where you are, where you keep your spot. And down here, these are the weekly tasks that I want to get done, and I just have them marked out by the week number, which is 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, and just monthly tasks just with the one checkbox. I'm thinking this is going to work out much, much better. Plus, it saves me a page also. I could fit everything on this one page here. Here's my timetable for this week. Here's my spread for this week with my task. And here is a page for online ordering. I went ahead and wrote that in because I've been trying to limit my online orders, but I did have some things that I ordered on eBay the other day, so I just put that in here. And here is just some ideas for a craft room or office redo. I found these pictures on Pinterest and printed them out and just stuck them in here. I left myself room for some more pictures just to give me ideas. And this is today. These are my daily notes. And I did do a lot of painting on this page and more decorations and stickers just to give it some pizzazz. I have to give myself visual things to look at to make it pretty. So I love this book. I had my bullet journal in the Midori, and that worked well also, but I spend a lot of my time working while sitting in my favorite chair, not at a desk. And so it's hard to hold this and work in it and get a flat surface and write comfortably when you're sitting in the chair, or even if you're sitting at a desk. And if you take the books out and really lay them flat. So this was my everyday, this bullet journal that I had in here, and kind of my list book, and this is my business book. This is the only thing that I still have not incorporated this information in this book yet, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. There's some things in here that I don't need, but there are things in here that I do need, which I may just tear the pages out and tape them in. I haven't really decided yet. This is the only thing that's stumping me right now. So those things are in there for right now. Because I could go back to using this when I finish this book. It's just I found myself not wanting to carry the Midori around. I don't know why. I didn't want to carry it around. With this thing, I just, you know, close it up and throw it in my purse, and I take it everywhere. It's because the size is really nice to work with. It's not too big, it's not too small. The hardback covered ones, you can be sitting and have them in your lap and you have a good writing surface. They lay pretty flat. Not 100% flat like the Hobonichi, but it's very workable. In this pen holder, I just have my Muji pen, and this is for when I'm on the go, if I need those colors, because I've just been using a variety of cheap pens in here actually. I've been trying to use up my Coletto inks, so I have been using these. I'm not going to buy more refills. I just want to use the ones that I have. And then these cheap dollar store pens, I got at Dollar Tree for my black and blue because it's mainly what I use. I use mostly black now to take all of my notes. And I pulled out my Inkjoy, which I usually don't like using, but they do write smoother than the big pens. And this one with the black and the blue mostly, and I put pink in the red, so I have my pink and my green. That's what I'm using in here. So that is how I have my bullet journal right now. I do have smaller books than these, but I don't think I could use them because I wouldn't be able to do my charts and have all the information on there that I wanted. So this is working for me right now. And plus, when I'm out and about waiting at doctor's appointments, my granddaughter likes to open up my books and look at all my pictures and stickers and things too, so it keeps her entertained too. So right now, this is my brain. This has everything in here. Everything that I need to have with me. When I'm scheduling appointments, I also, of course, always have my phone, and I generally put appointments in my Google Calendar, and then I can come back and put them in my calendars when I need to. So I'm going to move on and kind of show you my other planners and what I'm doing with those. Now, I'll start with the Erin Condren. These are really lovely planners. I just couldn't get it to work for me right now. It gives me a nice visual though for editorial planning, which I may continue to use it just to be able to sit down and try to map out the entire month, because I can color code this way and know what I'm doing. And then once I kind of map the month out, then I can go back and plug it in to my bullet journal where it needs to be. I was doing this. But I was still needing to use my other planners. And then I thought, well, maybe I could just use this kind of as a journal for the kids, which is kind of what I started doing this past week, which I may keep doing. So mostly with the stickers and pictures and that type of thing in here. We'll see. It's a work in progress. That's Erin Condren. And I've already showed you my Midori, which I am not using right now. I have several of these in different colors because, of course, I make them for my shop. And then here's my Hobonichi. So I am behind on my weekly spreads in here because I've been doing them elsewhere. And I may or may not come back and fill them in. I'm not sure. The monthly is pretty up to date, I believe. Let's see, May. Pretty much. I am behind on my days because I have not been focusing on this book at all. These are all completely blank. I did go put some pictures in here. I need to go back to around the 15th of May and come back and update my book. Just here and there I have things stuck in. And I am going to give myself time to come back and decorate this because this is my journal. And I want to have the entire year in one book. So I will make time to do this. And as far as the flip through, I'm probably not going to do that until maybe I get 2 months done. And I might come back in and do another flip through of my Hobonichi. So those of you who are curious, I have not given up this thing. I just haven't been working in it every day. And I have to tell myself that it's okay to not do that. Because I don't want to feel the guilt. You start feeling guilty because you have it there and it's so pretty and you want to work on it, but you're not doing it every day. But that's okay because I'm just going to go back. I have all my information in here and I just need to come and journal out anything that was important and paint and put stickers and whatever else I want to have in here. So those are my planners right now. The only other thing that I am using is I do have my wallet in my purse, which is just my pocket-sized cover story, and I only pretty much have my cards in there and some, you know, my ID, that type of thing, the wallet contents, and my just papers to jot notes if I need to jot notes while I'm out, which I don't need because I have this with me. So that's my bullet journal update. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.